Captain Marvel is Marvel's flagship character. I mean, obviously not, but that sounds right, doesn't it? Regardless, since the Good Captain's first appearance in comics, the character bearing the mantle has had a long, storied history in the Marvel Universe. And today we're going to look at every version of Captain Marvel in the comics, as they relate to the Avengers, which means we're skipping around a lot. Full spoilers from here on out. I know we're skipping around a lot, but we're still going to be spoiling some comics. Not all, but some. Alright, let's get started. The first Captain Marvel is Captain Mar-Vell of the Kree Empire. Originally sent to Earth as a spy, Mar-Vell eventually decided he wanted to defend the planet. Now, despite his bond with longtime Avengers sidekick Rick Jones, and his integral role in the Kree-Skrull War story, Mar-Vell is not actually an Avenger. However, after he passed away from cancer, the Avengers posthumously made him an honorary member, which I think is pretty cool of the team. The next Captain Marvel is Monica Rambeau, who has a much more prominent role in the Avengers. Why she took the name Captain Marvel, other than Marvel just needing a new one, is anyone's guess, cause she's not related to him, nor has she any of his powers. It's very strange. That said, Monica's pretty cool. She's the first female African-American member of the team, and later became the first to lead the team. She stayed on the Avengers for the majority of the 80s, but left after losing her powers, although she regained them fairly quickly, and has remained a reserve member ever since. She hasn't been Captain Marvel in a long while though, changing her name to Photon, then later Pulsar, and finally her current name, Spectrum. The third person to bear the name was Genus Vell, the son of the late Mar-Vell, who was artificially aged up. Sure. He started off as the hero Legacy, but eventually took up his father's mantle, and promptly disappeared. However, in the Avengers Forever story, a future version of Genus shows up as a member of the Avengers. That's all I'll say about it for now, because we'll be talking about this story later this month, so stay tuned for that. After that whole thing though, Genus went crazy, reset the universe, which accidentally created his sister Phyla-Vell, who became the next Captain Marvel. He then became Photon, making it the second name he stole from Monica Rambeau, and then he died. Neither he nor his sister were ever officially made Avengers members. Despite Mar-Vell remaining mostly dead after all this time, there was a time where it seemed like he had come back for realsies. However, this was revealed to be a Skrull named Kon-Nur, who believed that he was actually Mar-Vell. When he died in the Secret Invasion story, he passed the mantle on to Noh-Varr, another Kree who was on Earth. Although reluctant at first, he eventually did take the name and join Norman Osborn's Dark Avengers, but left when he realized that all his teammates were supervillains. He later joined the Avengers proper, but under the name Protector. Little side note, while he was on the Avengers, most of the other team members just called him Space Boy, which I think is kinda racist, but you know. And finally, there's Carol Danvers, pilot extraordinaire and current holder of the Captain Marvel title. Carol's history with the Avengers started back in the 70s when she joined as Miss Marvel. However, she left shortly after in Avengers number 200 because of... Look, I don't really have the credentials or desire to talk about that touchy subject, so just take my word for it when I say it's really bad. After that whole fiasco though, she eventually teamed up with the X-Men, becoming the hero Binary. Then she went to space for a bit, and when she came back, she rejoined the Avengers as Warbird, before returning to Miss Marvel, and eventually taking the name Captain Marvel, after briefly interacting with a resurrected Mar-Vell. Once again inspired by him, she finally decided to honor the legacy he had begun. Okay, quick little side note that I'll add right here because it doesn't really fit anywhere else. While these were never captains, I feel they deserve at least a mention. The villain Moonstone became an evil Miss Marvel and was a member of the Dark Avengers, even having a brief fling with Noh-Varr. And are those a lot of technicalities? Sure, but I think it counts. Also, Kamala Khan, the new Miss Marvel, also became an Avenger, and she's just the best, so you know, we're gonna mention Kamala Khan. While Mar-Vell was originally created as an excuse to capitalize and copyright the name Captain Marvel, it is interesting to see how that title has changed so much over time, going from a goofy-looking nerd that no one knew what to do with, to an important stepping stone in an inclusivity for the company, then back to a goofy-looking nerd that no one knew what to do with, and finally to one of Marvel's mainstay characters. It's become a title that truly captures the company's spirit of zany variety and heartfelt inspiration. But who's your favorite Captain Marvel? Let me know down in the comments. Be aware that there are no right or wrong answers, except mine. I am very much right. Anywho, hope you enjoyed the video. Avengers will continue, so stick around. I'm the Watcher of New Earth, and I'll see you next time.